both the fighters and the mages' guilds. We have sizable halls for both within the tree.
Within the tree? How would one find them? The tree is so large.
They're easy to find. The trunk has 3 landings within it, and the middle landing, the one with the shrine, will have passageways to both guild halls. As you may have encountered, all throughout Valenwood live the Spinners, the most faithful devotees of Ifrit, our most important god.
How would this one know a spinner apart from other Bosmir? Not to sound rude, but this one has trouble telling elves apart.
Fine goods for sale.
There are 3 around you now. Look for the Bosmer sitting in scenic places, but they will not move without being moved. All that spinners should ever... You! Please wait!
Hey, you! Please wait!
Lo. Don't get many visitors. If you're here for the ruin, best to turn back. No goods come out of that place in several hundred years. Give or take a decade or so. What ruin? As if any other mattered. Leiloria, sealed up tighter than an Anshe tomb. Twice as dangerous. That's the kind of thing that happens when Daedric princes start feuding with one another. Shame what happened to Kulanway, though. Priestess of Azura. Molag Bal's been torturing her. Longer than you, me, maybe even these trees have been alive. And he's not like to stop unless someone makes him. Old Vestari tried. Haven't seen her since. Best of luck to you. Leiloria's sealed up tight, and by Azura's own hand. It'll take some doing to get in. Never mind thwart Molag Bal, rescue Kulanway, and make your way back here. Say hello to Vestari if she's still kicking, will you? It's been an age. Used to study magic back in the day, under a powerful mage named Vestari. Taught Tholor and me everything we know. We were her best students, so when she walked into Leiloria, she told us what to do if things went wrong. She gave us a crystal. Told us if the beacon on her tower ever turns red, we're to break it. No questions asked. When we do, everything around her tower, trees, Leiloria, all of it, will be unmade. If we don't, well, we're in trouble. Well, we're not sure exactly. But when Vestari went down there, Daedra poured out and killed all our fellow students. It was all we could do to make it to a safe vantage point. But the tower never turned. So here we are. Tholor says it's 100 years this reign's had. But me? I'd put it more at 97. Give or take a few.
Approach, mortal.
My message is
Oh, I was just getting started.
Mortal, you stand above the sealed ruins of Leiloria. Within is a gateway to Cold Harbor, where my priestess, Kulanway, suffers at the hands of Molag Bal. Her pain is so great, it has torn a hole between worlds. This injustice must end. I am the Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk, the Mother of the Rose, who sealed Leiloria away from your world. I am Azura, mortal, and I would put an end to Kulanway's long suffering beneath its gates below. When Vestari found these ruins and sought to end Kulanway's torment, she failed and was lost. Go to Vestari's tower, follow her footsteps, and mortal, do not fail as she did.
Yay, us!
here again. I mean, yes, mortal. Greetings, outsider. As the will of my prince is eternal, I heed your call. Azura. You know of Azura, don't you? Irai the Fleet, she named me. But that was long ago. This shriveled vessel is but a shadow of my former glory. My wings ache to soar the skies of oblivion once more. Vestari pierced the seal with a relic known as the Twilight Heart. It still stands before the gates of Leiloria, bereft of magical energies. You'll need to feed it souls, and with all these Daedra about, you'll have your pick. The wizard Vestari kept quite the stock of sigil geodes, which I suppose should do. There are still some around. I can smell them from here. Of course. She was the last to summon me. Together we opened the ruins of Leiloria. She ventured in with her noble companions. I watched them die in a flood of Daedra. It was all I could do to escape and seal the ruin, Vestari's final command. Ignoring the fact that my prince's unbreakable will compels me to open the way to Leiloria, despite the unspeakably bloody terror to greet you on the other side. You could be Molag Bal himself for all I know. I'd still help you open the door, Lord of Brutality or not. You aren't him, are you? No, you're not. Not enough horns. And you don't smell of rotten meat. Molag Bal has terrible hygiene. Even a scamp knows that. Try waiting in a rock until someone calls your name. Then watch them reduced to a smear of viscera the moment you do what they've asked you to do. You try to find joy where you can. The joy of aiding another, of course. Here are the sigil geodes. A little dusty, but they'll do. Quite simple to use. Pointed at the Daedra you want to absorb, and the sigil geode does...
Heroes don't kill.
A pretty stone, yes. I twist just so. The power! I forgotten how it feels? Follow, outsider. Come see my prince's glorious domain.
Yes, Irai, despite your efforts.
My prince's children were legion. They should have overwhelmed you.
Molag Bal's chattel are nothing to me.
Blasphemy!
Stranger, if you're a foe to Molag Bal, stand with me.
Fools! I'll feast upon your eyes!
You've nowhere to fly, fiend. You can't escape me. The sigil geode? Do you still have it? Touching the sigil geode to Irai's forehead will absorb her soul. It's the only way we'll ever leave this place. If she dies outside of that stone, we'll spend the next century counting the tiles in this place. I noted 32,708, but you're welcome to check my figures. In the depths of this ruin is a portal leading straight to Cold Harbor. We can only close it from the other side. Once in Cold Harbor, we'll have no hope of escape unless Irai is inside that stone. Quickly! I can't keep this up for long.
It doesn't matter what you do to me. You'll be dead or trapped for 1,000 years. Molag Bal is my prince, you fool! I let Vistari believe I was Azura's servant, just as I let you believe. I led you into Cold Harbor's grasp, morsels for the god of schemes to pick from between his teeth.
At last, after all these years. I'm not one to hope any creature suffers, but with Irai, I'll make an exception. She can spend eternity in the sigil geode for all I care. Irai is bound to her tablet. While she's within the sigil geode, we can use her as a tether to escape from Cold Harbor. If I hadn't been so quick to destroy her those years ago, my companions would still be alive. Come, we should retrieve Kulanwe. At the base of these ruins is the hole her torment tears between worlds. But the moment we enter, Molag Bal's servants are likely to sense our presence. I'd have long ago made the attempt myself, if I had anywhere to flee. We must find Kulanwe and free her from whatever cruel device causes her so much pain. Doing so should end her torment. When she no longer cries out, the rift between Cold Harbor and Leyloria should close, I hope. I kept this library clear of Daedra, but the chambers beyond are home to a variety of the creatures. It may be best to avoid them. Can you feel her suffering, her agony? For 1,000 years, her pain tunneled through the void, always reaching for her last memories of a life free of suffering. No more!
Thank you.
We've done it! We freed Kulanway from her torment. Oh, it was worth the wait. Irai brought us both through the seal. It's only fitting she bring us back. I can use the sigil geode to trace her soul back, and then it's a simple matter to open a portal. Are you ready? Then prepare yourself. Departing Cold Harbor is never easy. It is good to stand beneath the sky once more, to feel the breeze upon my skin. And I wouldn't have made it here without you. My home is always open to you, should you care to visit. 88 years, 3 months, 11 days, 13 hours, 7 minutes. All right, I'm showing off. I used a simple spell to mark the time. It was the first thing I did when I realized I was trapped. It's not entirely precise, so I had to guess the minutes. Clear my Tower of Daedra for one, memorialize my companions who did not return, organize my effects. Then I'll find out what has transpired in this world since I left. I have some catching up to do. I opened my home to many I met in my travels. A young Redguard swordsman, a scarred wood elf hunter, a Psijic outcast. I can still hear their voices. But that was 90 years ago. Those not killed by the Daedra must have fled. For a time, though I expect my attention shall be drawn elsewhere soon enough. There was something different in Cold Harbor. The air was a little too full, the fires too bright. Molag Bal's Corner of Oblivion holds many secrets. I plundered several from his halls a lifetime ago. Did you know? I did it to impress a boy. What a fool I was. Telakar, a powerful mage, brilliant, always focused upon his work, hardly striking, though such things never mattered to me. It took my escapade in Cold Harbor to convince him there were adventurous women outside of his books, but that was long ago. I have. Why do you ask? Then you know the tale it tells. Did you find anything else? I hoped that wretched thing would fade away. It was a pale shadow of my son, nothing more. Kalian died so long ago, but my husband couldn't put him to rest. You didn't meet my husband, did you? That makes no sense. An animated shade would have no desire to escape. It would only approximate reason. Tell me, why did it want to escape? Reason, fear, a sense of self-preservation. No, what have I done? You met Kalian's true spirit. I spurned it, him, as a mockery of my son's memory. Forgive me. I will set this right, but I don't care to speak of it right now.
Blood you shed fills rivers.
Kulanwe, beloved of the Wild Ones, my priestess returns from the clutches of Cold Harbor at last. So I have seen. A mortal has managed what the eternal dead could not. Much when it is time. You have taught humility to a Daedric prince, mortal. Tread carefully, for he will attempt to exact his revenge. Now go with my blessing. When I have need of you, you will know.
Excuse me. Did you know my husband? What brings you to my husband's grave? I don't think we ever met. My husband was a guard for a merchant caravan. One day, he found a magic amulet on a dead man laying in the road. Almost overnight, he became despondent, and when he spoke, he would only talk about the bandits he had killed while defending the caravan. No, nothing worked. I even paid to have the origin of the amulet divined, and learned it was crafted in Cormount. Surprisingly, my husband volunteered to go, but he was found dead not far from town the next day, and the amulet was gone. If you have the amulet, I suggest you find a way to be rid of it as soon as possible, before you lose the will to even try.
Ifre, the singer, the storyteller, who resides in the now.
Over here. Oh, thank Ifre. I wasn't sure I would find anyone out here. My village needs help. The forest has turned against us. I don't know how else to describe it. Spriggans and Sench just started tearing through our village in numbers. We've had to take refuge in the sacred cave where we hold our religious ceremonies. Trethane Roland sent me to look for outside help. I don't know what he intends. He said something about a horrible crime. I think he thinks the forest is trying to exact justice for something. He's in the sacred cave with the others.
The roads are...
I can't tell you how glad I am you're here. Something is horribly amiss, and we can't leave this cave without fearing for our lives until it's put right. We are followers of the Green Pact, pledged to protect the forest from all harm. In exchange, the forest shapes itself to our needs. But now the forest has turned against us, stirring the Sench to attack us and driving us into hiding. Only a gross violation of the Green Pact could cause the forest to attack us in this way. My suspicions were confirmed when we entered this cave. We found the sacred blossom, Sanguine Alendo, cut from its stem. No wonder the forest is angry. The requirements for correcting a violation of the Green Pact are well established. 3 kinds of proof are required for judgment: witness testimony, physical evidence, and a magical omen. Without all 3, no judgment can be rendered. I've been able to narrow the suspects by talking to the villagers, but to gather more evidence we'd need to leave this cave. For as long as justice is denied under the Green Pact, the forest will destroy any of us who set foot outside this cave. You have my gratitude. There are 3 suspects whose behavior has been called in: Aranak the Khajiit merchant, Spinner Aranas, and his wife Gathiel. I suggest talking to my people to find possible witness testimony before venturing into the town.
I heard you've been made Pact Advocate. Is this true? I want to help in any way I can. The Green Pact is sacred, and the person who broke it must be brought to justice. Anything to fix this. Aranak's been in our town for years. Why would he suddenly decide to do this? Besides, the Pact is a special bond between the Wood Elves and the Forest. I don't think the Forest would react this way if Aranak were guilty. Aranis is a good man. He's the village spinner, so it's his job to pass on the stories of the Wood Elves and the Green. I learned about the Green Pact from his stories when I was a child. He would never endanger the village, or break the Pact. A real piece of work. Always scheming, that one is. Spinner's wife or not, I'm sure she's guilty. She's been sick for weeks and just happens to get better the night the pact was broken? I'd testify against her in a heartbeat.
I'm at the end of my rope.
I heard you've been made Pact Advocate. Anything to fix this. A real piece of work. Always scheming, that one is. Spinner's wife or not. Aranis is a good man. He's the village spinner.
So Trethane Roland wants you to investigate the violation of the Green Pact. I don't see what there is to investigate. The culprit is plain enough, but I'm happy to help.
Ask what you want, but I think it's obvious who did it. That Khajiit has always held our traditions in contempt.
The night the Green Pact was broken, there was a terrible storm. I was sitting by the window, watching the lightning. That's when I saw that filthy cat sneak off into the woods towards the cave. I will happily testify against him. Spinner Aranas is our guiding light. He helped heal my cousin when she got sick, and has always been a staunch defender of the Green Pact. It's offensive he's even under suspicion. Gathiel has her moments of ego, but she's a loyal member of this community. We were all praying for her during her recent illness, and were thrilled at her recovery. I don't think she's capable of this crime.
So Trethane Roland has you looking into the destruction of the sacred flower. I hope you understand this isn't just about a plant. The Green Pact defines us. Our whole way of life is based on it. I hope you take the investigation seriously. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but I can tell you already that it was our spinner. He's an alchemist. He makes unnatural concoctions with plants. He claims to never use anything forbidden, but everyone knows that alchemists need lots of herbs to do their work. I am willing to testify against him for bringing this down on us. That merchant is harmless. He only gets what people ask him to acquire, and I've never seen him harm a leaf. If it weren't for him, we'd be cut off from the rest of the world entirely. I won't stand any bad-mouthing of Gathiel. Sure, she's married to that alchemist, but she's nothing like him, rooting around in the dirt for dead leaves. The way she carries herself, her beauty, her refinement, she would never stoop so low.
We stand ready to hear your findings, Advocate. I encourage you to ask the suspects about any evidence you found before making an accusation. Remember, once you have made an accusation, you must present the supporting evidence as requested. If you are truly ready, please name the accused. You have formally accused Gathiel, the wife of our spinner, of breaking the Green Pact. Who do you have to stand in testimony against the accused? Citizen, please step forth as accuser. Advocate, what physical evidence do you have to present to us? We accept this diary into evidence. Please place it on the table. Please present the final piece of evidence, an omen from the heavens portending the guilt of the accused. We accept this astrology chart into evidence. Please place it on the table. Please allow me a moment to review the evidence you have presented, Advocate. After a careful review of the evidence provided to this court, I find the spinner's wife, Gathiel, guilty as charged.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Advocate,
sorry.
we have asked much of you in this terrible
I was
affair, but
afraid
I
to
must
die.
rely upon you for one final sacred task. Please escort the prisoner to the judgment chamber below.
This isn't real. This is all a bad dream. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. I didn't have a choice. It was just one plant. I would have died otherwise.
Blood for blood. It is done.
It is done. It is done.
You have done what we could not. You have restored us to the Green Pact. All is right, even if all is not yet well. Thank you. Gathiel was the gem of our village. It's still hard to believe, but who could blame her for wanting a cure to her illness? The Green Pact is a harsh burden sometimes. Still, we are grateful to you. You're welcome here anytime.